He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since that tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Minash Mishra.
Om Sada Shivaya Namaha. Om Bhairavaya Namaha. Om Bhairaviye Namaha. Om Sada Shivaya Namaha. Aham Brahmasmi. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the part 2 of the Bhairava process. Good to see you all. Is my voice clear? Okay. So today we are going to continue with the second part of what we started. And if, as I said, if that was something that you are looking forward to today, we are going to discuss further, and especially I'm going to narrate some stories about the Bhairava so that you can come to know whom are we dealing with and what kind of entity it is. So just before starting, Rajni ji is there, like if you want to wish her, bless her, or whatever way, you can do that. And if you have more of that, save it for tomorrow because it is Harivais tomorrow. So if you have a lot of wishes, so save something for tomorrow as well. So that's how it is. Chalo. So Rajni ji, blessings from the entire family and to your entire family, because she narrated a beautiful thing today. Her entire family's birthday is in the month of July itself. From her husband to both her kids to herself, all are in July. So I said, good. So Haribhai already has prepared himself for tomorrow's things I believe. Okay. Chalo. So we'll deal with him tomorrow anyways. So let us begin with this. So where were we last time? Does anybody remembers what we discussed, what we had talked about? What were the things that we narrated? Any idea? किसी को कुछ भी याद है? Even though if you don't remember, restart from somewhere where the memories will appear again. Okay. So close your eyes. Think of Bhairava, but the problem here is the moment you think of Bhairava, the first thing that you will notice is the white that is there on my head. And now you start smiling that why this is what I am seeing. Don't worry. So that will pass anyways. You will go beyond that, and if you really focus on certain time, just focus on that element of Bhairava itself. The one who is dancing, the one who is ecstatic, the one who is the most amazing. And now, let me begin. And it's up to you whether you want to listen with closed eyes, with your open eyes. So let me start somewhere where we can narrate a little bit from the last week and from the last session, and we can go ahead from there. So just to remind you again, Ananda Bhairava is the guardian of your true immortal nature, or the truth that you are, the Atman. And he becomes the guardian of the Atman. And when I narrate his stories today, you will find a real friend in him who is both terrifying as well as most ecstatic. In this world, at least you people know that somewhere you have come to a conclusion, or at least you have started accepting that you are an Atman. Whereas many are there who are yet to discover that. But once you start to remember that you are an Atman, the forces of nature or the forces of Maya will come into full-fledged action. They will try to pull you back, and those would be in form of attachments, a lot of drama. It might be relationship, it might be society. So all the things will come into play in such a way that you cannot focus on a particular thing called that you are an Atman. The moment you say you are an Atman, somebody will say, can you bring me a glass of water? Now the Atman is working to bring a glass of water for someone. It was okay till that time, until the Atman itself feels that thirst. And he says, oh, I also want to drink water. That very moment Atman is gone somewhere. I am somebody who wants to drink something, I have to eat something, I have to dress myself. All these ideas again come into play. So that is how Maya makes sure, like you are in this world, not trying to jump around. Like you remember your childhood days in your college, or you might be school days, where there used to be a boundary across your school. Why was the boundary there? So that you don't jump out without reading the subjects. But there were some free souls, those who bunk classes. They jump from the windows. They jump from anywhere. The teacher could not even see like how they jumped. But they all jump around and go beyond that boundary. And when I look at those kids, I feel like, okay, so these are the Jivan Muktas. Might be not a right example, But a great way of looking at that, when the Maya wants to teach you in this world and bind you within that studies and classroom and all those things, there would be some free souls, those who jump around. That's like, just like that. In this world classroom, if we look, all of us, we are those students. We are those students who have started bunking the Maya classes, or the classes of Maya, the special programs of Maya, the, what do you say, entertainments of Maya kind of thing. So you have started at least jumping around. So some fine day jumping around, you will jump in such a way that you will never return back to that space. So that's where the Maya will come into play. But Bhairava becomes a true guardian, a fierce, fierce guardian who protects you and your spark of immortality from being touched and smothered and engulfed by Maya itself. That's the work of Bhairava. So when you invoke Bhairava, it's like you having your own protective sheath around you, you having somebody who takes care of you rather than you taking care of them. Right? So that's where the play of Bhairava has come into existence. For example, let's say, let me give you a small example here. There was let me narrate you how actually Bhairava pulls you down from the Maya. There was one particular sadhak. He had started, somehow he got initiated somewhere and he started doing the sadhana. But nausikhiya tha, like still he was learning things. Okay. So while he was still learning, like all the worldly things will start pulling you and all those things. That's how what I said is Maya will do to you. So this sadhak, when he saw that all these things are pulling him, he wanted to renounce the path itself. वो साधना छोड़ना चाहता था. But by this time, he has done some part of Bhairav sadhana. And because of family pressure and all those things, he wanted to leave everything. And he says, मेरे से साधना नहीं हो पाएगी, so it is better I don't do all these things. So he wanted to renounce the sadhana path because of his family pressures. And he saw that with this kind of things going on in my life, I will not be able to complete the sadhana. What happened is, he left everything. But when he left the things, like he stopped doing the sadhana and all those things, you know what happened? Bhairava started appearing in his dreams. Now, when he appeared in his dreams, you know what he used to do? His dreams were all filled with Bhairava. Bhairava would be shouting, Bhairava will be roaring, Bhairava will be pulling him. It was kind of like Bhairava was not allowing him to even slip back into the illusion of Maya. Then he goes back to his guru, and in his voice, the Bhairava spoke again. He actually reminded that you are the eternal truth. And by grace and by choice and by your sadhana, you have reached here. I will not allow you to go back into that trap. That's what Bhairava is all about. And that's why it is said, look, once you catch hold of Bhairava, once you start doing the sadhana of Bhairava, Bhairava will never ever let your soul be lost again. Because once you have seen the glimpse of the freedom that Bhairava offers, none of us will ever be pulled into the Maya again. Would you like to do a sadhana of that kind of being? बोले, so इतना देर क्यों रखे थे आप छुपा के? Why was this hidden all these years? Why not earlier? Steps. When you are climbing steps, you climb steps one by one. If you try to jump 10, you will hit your face only. And you will break your nose or break your jaw or something or other will happen. Yes or no. So your practices, your sadhana, your purposes, all that you have been doing all these years has brought you to a point where this sadhana has popped up. And by now it must be becoming much more clear to you why it is appearing now. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are having this trouble that despite all this sadhana, you are falling back into the trap of the world? How many of you think like अब साधना नहीं हो पा रही है? How many of you think अरे oh I used to do so much of things like धीरे धीरे सब छूट रहा है. So right, all these things is happening. Like all of a sudden, issues are coming up. More and more issues are showing up, like worldly things, physical pain, and then my man nahi lag raha. I am not able to sit. I am not able to do it, and more. I want to do it, but I am not able to do it. है ना? So these are all the good ground for Bhairava to appear. He dances on that ground. When you feel you are lost, when you feel there is nothing for you left, when you doubt on your own selves, that's where Bhairava appears again to reenact, re-say, retell. Have you forgotten? You have already done my sadhana. And I am here again to pull you back onto the track. So, Ananda Bhairava, he is absolutely the giver of intoxication. What we call as Paramananda might be. What is Paramananda? Paramananda is like भगवान को आप कभी भी like whenever you describe God also, what would you describe? तो भगवान जो है वो परमानंद हो सकता है. It's ultimate bliss. And if you do the sadhana of Bhairava, Ananda Bhairava especially, it will actually not put a drop of nectar into you, not a drop of happiness into you, neither it will just create something, it will actually take you and dip you into the nectar of happiness until you drown into it. Have you heard of anyone doing this? Absolutely ruthless, merciless, and the one who actually provides you truth. इसीलिए कहते हैं ना कि जब आनंद भैरव प्रकट होता है तो वो आपको कुछ देता नहीं है, आपको डुबा देता है. You know what that means? He will not give you anything. He will drown you. Drown in what? Drown you in the ecstasy that he is. And now, soon, when I'm going to narrate the stories of Bhairava, we will come to know like why I say so. It's like once you have experienced that nectar of Bhairava, no food, no pleasure, no wealth, no power can be compared with what he gives. It is like, what to say? How to say that becomes difficult at times. It can be the sweetness of realizing that you are deathless, you are unstoppable, you are the bliss itself, because the bliss is not going to come from anywhere else. The bliss is you. And when Bhairava actually starts pouring that initially, pours the nectar into you, you will absolutely start dancing like him. You know where you will be dancing? You will be dancing on the ashes of your past, with no fear of the future, and burning as bright in the eternal now as this is shining right now. So that's how this is going to be. Haribhai would say, are we overselling this? We are not overselling it. This is what all the Agamas spoke about Ananda Bhairava. ना अगर शिव स्वयं आनंद हैं, जब वो आनंद भैरव के स्वरूप में प्रकट होंगे तो कैसा होगा, है ना? So that's where we are talking about so amazing thing that it is, right? And as I said, if you really do this 41 days sadhana, few things that you will experience, it would be like bliss, and the bliss would be so fierce that you will start crying. You will laugh, you might tremble, you might even feel like your entire body has become like a light, the filled with light, your entire body. This is what I can call is amrita, the taste of the freedom, or the kiss of the Bhairava himself. It's like touching you, and once it does, then it's वो कहते हैं ना कि like it would be like a divine drunkenness, after which you can never be enslaved by the illusions of this world again. को संसार बांध नहीं पाएगा. But are you ready to do that kind of sadhana? Because this is what it is all going to give you. But will you do your part? And anyways, I have already prepared the checklist that I will be sharing with you, so that you have to fill that form. Once you fill that form, we will see like whether you get really close to that or not. And then I'll be deciding the names. Keep your tickets ready anyways. So in one way, in summary, that if I look at the entire summary of last session and now, I can just summarize it in this way. Ananda Bhairav could be told in this way, like the one who destroys all your fears, the one who is the guard of your soul. He is the power behind your all the siddhis that you will get after that. He is the fierce protector of the truth that you truly are. And he is kind of a master who is intoxicated and intoxicates you with such a joy that you will willingly dance, not forcefully. You will willingly dance on the flames of your own cremation grounds. स्वयं के चिता के ऊपर नृत्य करना. It is something like that it creates. And that is why I can say he is a true friend of every sadhaka. Because he is unstoppable and he makes you the same. He is freedom, and he is the one who will make you experience the freedom as well. And once you do all this 41 days sadhana, your experiences could be variety of it. Your fears will be less. You will be ब्रेकिंग द पैटर्न ऑफ सेल्फ सैबोटाज, जो अपने आप के प्रति जो घृणा भाव है, अपने आप के प्रति जो द्वेष भाव है, अपने आप के प्रति जो राग है आपको, जो द्वेष है आपको, आपके गुस्सा जो है आपके ऊपर, लाइक द एंगर दैट यू हैव ऑन योर ओन सेल्फ, दैट विल ऑल्सो बी टेकन केयर ऑफ. इट विल हेल्प यू टू अवेकन योर हायर इंटेलिजेंस, and it will flood you with overwhelmingly bliss that no worldly addiction will ever matter to you ever again. And now I'm going to narrate few stories from the Agamas and the Yamalas and even life. And these stories, when you hear, somehow or other, you will connect with this Bhairava. Are you ready to know him more? So it goes this way. Which one to start? Okay. Let's start with his name itself. In the parampara, it is said that when Bhairava had finished the cosmic dance of dissolution, all the devas came together and asked, how will the world go on if you destroy all illusions? अगर तुम सब कुछ समाप्त कर दोगे, सब माया को ही समाप्त कर दोगे, तो संसार कैसे चलेगा? And in that moment, Bhairava smiled and he dipped his kapala, because somebody was asking me, I did not get that particular part. When he drank from his kapala, what was he drinking actually? So this story narrates about what he drank. He took the kapala, the skull bowl, into the ocean of consciousness and drank a nectar so luminous that even the time stood still. Because this nectar that he drank was the distilled essence, the complete essence of all liberated souls who were free from their karma, pure as sunlight. When Bhairava drank it, he was overwhelmed with Ananda, the highest bliss, because in this moment, he tasted the truth that all beings are truly deathless. He experienced deathlessness. And in that moment, he danced. From that day on, he became the Ananda Bhairava, the one whose bliss is so complete that death itself bows down to him. This is how he became the Ananda Bhairava, because he was drinking the elixir of truth. There is another story that comes from the Pashupata Tantra. Even if you read this story, at times you will miss this. Even if you read the Pashupata Tantra, you will miss this story, because it is written in such hidden way that until and unless you know how to decode that, you will miss this story in it. This story says that one fine day, Bhairava arrived at a cremation ground. Okay, so that's his playground. So one fine day, he arrived at the cremation ground. And we all know, like the cremation ground, there will be so many countless souls that have never gotten mukti also, right? That's why जब भी कोई जाके स्मशानिक साधनाएं करता है, तो वैसे भूत प्रेतों को पकड़ता है, उनसे काम करवाता है ना? So when Bhairava went to the cremation ground, he found there were countless sadhakas who had died in a half realized state. वो कहते हैं ना, the story could not be completed. उनकी साधना पूर्ण नहीं हुई थी. And he found that so many souls who have died half realized. And these spirits, because of their half-baked realization, these spirits were trapped and were crying for help. What do you think Bhairava would have done? Let's say you come to know that there are some souls, those who are crying for help, those who are not able to liberate. So what would you do? What would any god do? Any idea? Anything that you want to share? क्या करोगे आप? Might be somebody would say would do a process. Somebody would say would do some tarpan. Somebody would say, okay, we will pray for them. Somebody will say, we'll do something for them, whatever in our possible, in our little mind. But it is Bhairava. Unexpected things he would do. And that's what he did. You know what? Bhairava did not perform any rituals. Instead, he started to dance. He started to dance. And the moment he started to dance, he started stomping, whirling, making the flames leap higher. मतलब आसपास जितना धूल मिट्टी सब ध्वंस करने लगा, जो अग्नि जल रही थी उसको और जोर से जलाने लगा। ऐसा, लाइक द वे ही वॉज डांसिंग, ही वॉज स्टॉम्पिंग अराउंड एंड ही वॉज creating all the chaos all around. And the souls, those who were crying, were all there, right? As he danced, a deep laugh started from his belly up. A deep laugh arose from within him, from his belly, echoing through the Shmashana. And that laugh, you know what that laugh did? That laugh became the mantra. The moment he was dancing and laughing, his laugh itself became the mantra. And that mantra started shaking the souls from their own illusions. And the moment they started shaking, and the more and more he laughed, these souls that were trapped, they found their freedom in an instant. The fire of his dance should have burnt their half-finished karma, releasing them at one strike to get them out of that place. And since then, he got another name. Ananda Bhairava got another name from that day, and he is also known as the Shmashana Nartaka, the one who dances in the cremation grounds. Now just think of, for a moment, close your eyes and just imagine that it is a cremation ground where the souls are half-baked, half-witted, half-knowledged beings, just like us. And in this moment, he starts dancing and he starts laughing. And this is where I say, at times he makes noises when you do the sadhana. And that laugh that he laughs would become the mantra for you. Kabhi suna hai that the day somebody laughed and that became a mantra? This is one of a kind. His laugh itself became the mantra for liberation. And he is known as the Smashana Nartaka, the dancer who liberates in the cremation grounds, not only in the world, not only in the home, but also in the cremation grounds. Now, what would you call such a being? What grace, what blissfulness. And I truly believe he must be just like us. When you are too happy, when you are too ecstatic, you can give anything, right? आप जब बहुत खुश होते हो तो क्या होता है, कोई कुछ भी मांगे आप दे देते हो. शायद उसका हाल भी वही होगा. He is so happy that he cannot deny anything. है ना? So he must be just like us. Then let me narrate a true time story. It was it's kind of like Kamakhya. So it was not exactly the Kshetra of Kamakhya, but the border space. And there was a lady who was a Aghori. Okay. So this lady, she has lost everything. Her children, her husband, her entire clan, her entire family, she has already lost. And in her grief, she wandered in the cremation grounds, just thinking about ending her life. She was thinking that throughout my life, I was doing all these practices. Why everything was taken away from me? At times these questions arise, and she was roaming around in the cremation ground, planning something to end her life. That very moment, Bhairava appeared as a small little young boy, not as a fierce god, not as that one whom you look and you will be terrified. He just appeared in front of her as a young boy carrying a kapala in his hand, surrounded by dogs. And when he came, he looked at the lady, the Aghori, and he said, "Take this." He just forwarded the kapala and said, "Mother, drink from my bowl and you will never feel hungry again." अगर चाहे तो एक बार मेरे कपाल से पी ले, तुझे फिर कभी भूख नहीं लगेगी, कभी तुझे दर्द नहीं होगा. And what would she do? She was anyways there to end her life. So she just took and drank. And the moment she drank it, her heart actually burst open with joy so vast that all her pain was washed away in that very moment. She absolutely fell into a trance, realizing that the same force that takes everything away also gives everything back in freedom. ये वही शक्ति है जो आपसे सब कुछ छीन लेती है और आपको मुक्त कर देती है. It takes away everything and gives you back everything as well. And that day, she became someone whom people fondly know as the Bhairavi Yogini. And she started teaching others to find bliss where they had only known sorrow and grief in their lives. What do I say? I say you might be filled with sorrow. Your life might be filled with grief. Your life might be filled with so many things. Might be you are also waiting for a day. When will all this end? When will I get this freedom from all this that's happening? Might be during your sadhana he appears like a small little boy standing in front of you holding a kapala in his hand. He says, "Oh, would you like to drink from here?" Don't think twice. Grab it with both the hands and drink it. Because that day, you will forget living for your own self. But from that day, you will become a true essence of Bhairava, who will start teaching people how to be free from their sorrows. You know, in my life, if you ever ask me, what is the greatest kind of bliss you get by doing something? आपको सर्वश्रेष्ठ शांति और सर्वश्रेष्ठ हैप्पीनेस का जो समय होता है वो कौन सा होता है? Then I would undoubtedly, without even thinking twice, I would say, when you free someone. जब आप किसी को मुक्त करते हो ना, उससे बड़ी शांति, उससे बड़ी खुशी आज तक हमने नहीं देखी. And at times it is not others. It's about freeing your own self. Not from this body, but within this body. जिस दिन आप अपने आप को इस शरीर के अंदर ही मुक्त कर दोगे, that day you will see the true teacher will arrive. And that day it will start teaching. Might be you become that Bhairavi Yogini who actually is someone who helps others to destroy their grief. And you know what? That is why Ananda Bhairava is also known as Karunamaya, the compassionate liberator, even in the harshest of the tests. उसे करुणामय कहते हैं. ऐसा भैरव जो नाचता है, ऐसा भैरव जो गाता है, ऐसा भैरव जो चिल्लाता है, ऐसा भैरव जो पीटता है, ऐसा भैरव जो मुक्त करता है. दैट इज आनंद भैरव. Make space at your homes. If you had thought like, okay, one Batuk is there, he will take care, and I have only one seat, create few more place. Now one more is going to enter. And for some, it has already. It has not even waited for them. Like since the class, the last session, some people have already started experiencing him. शायद घर पास होगा उसके. And that's why we call him as the Karunamaya. He is the compassionate liberator. He would take your test, but still he will not leave you. Then, okay, there is one more story from the Rudra Yamal. In the Rudra Yamal, there is again another hidden story. And in that it is said that the Bhairava, after he conquered all the worlds, means he took over all the illusions, he simply laughed. And that laugh was so powerful that it absolutely created another loka, a new realm. And that was known as the Ananda Loka. He conquered everything and created another one just by his laughter. Have you found it? If not, may you find that loka within yourself. Because let him laugh, and may that loka of Ananda Loka be created within you. What could be a better place? Are you willing to give that space? Because many of us have written, trespassers will be prosecuted. And more than that, we have written that text for our own selves also. I have become the trespasser of my own happiness. There is a place within me that is happy. There is a place within me that is ecstatic. There is a place within me which is absolutely blissful, but I never enter into that garden anymore. I forgot that long back. I just still remember that when I see the small little kids playing around. When I look at them, I see that they are actually there in that realm, dancing all day. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I say, wow, there is this garden. I know I am the Atman. I know I am the Brahman. I know I am the eternal bliss. I know, but I will never ever step into that zone. You have locked it down. Yes or no? So let that laughter of Ananda Bhairava become the key to unlock the lock that you have locked and threw the key somewhere else. May that joy, may that happiness become the key to open the doors that you have closed long ago. May he create another realm within you, Ananda Loka, a bliss world where fearless, liberated souls danced with him eternally. And this is why in some of the tantric texts, it says, those who die in Bhairava's mantra do not go to heaven or hell. They go to Ananda Loka. You understand what that means? If you are chanting his mantra and you die, You will neither go to the heaven, neither to the hell. You will directly jump into another bowl of ecstasy. That's what is Ananda Bhairava all about. Because it is the final cremation ground for us, but made of pure bliss, where you can dance forever, fearless in your freedom. That was a story. What happens to the Bhairava sadhakas? Shall I share few more? Are you liking it? Or you are loving it? And more than that, are you feeling it within yourself or not? That makes all the difference. Close your eyes for a moment and try to listen if he laughs. It is only you who can deny he is not. Because the moment you take out that filter that he is not laughing, he is. That's what it is all about. Let me narrate one more story from our Siddha Paramparas. There is even a mystic tradition among the Siddhas. And if you truly call on Ananda Bhairava, he will first test you in your dream. Remember this. I'll tell you. Shall I narrate you? Because if I narrate you, will start seeing that dream. But I have to narrate so that you at least know that it was not some illusion that you are going through. It is actually the process. I don't know why I am spilling the beans here. जो अब तक छुपा के रखा गया था वो सब बताने जा रहा हूं. Are you ready for that? देखो how he will test you. You will absolutely see the dream and you will remember the dream as well. In that dream, you will stand in a burning ground and your entire body will be on fire. बोले ये क्या करने वाला है? That's how the dream will be. You will be in the cremation ground, your entire body is already on fire. And you will see yourself burning. What would that be look like? But what would be burning there? You will see your name burning. You will see your status burning. You will see your attachments burning. You will see your karmas burning. You will see your pains burning. You will see all your illusions burning. You will see all that you believed yourself to be in the falsified state of Maya. Everything burning down. But if you don't run away in your dream, and if you stand firm, burning, Bhairava will appear smiling. And you know what he will do? This is going to be your indication. He will brush off all the fire from you. He will smile and brush away all the flames and place a drop of nectar on your tongue. आपके जीवा के ऊपर एक बूंद अमृत कर रख देगा. That nectar will become the seed of Paramananda, the greatest bliss that you can ever think of. And once tasted, it guarantees you will never be bound by the illusions of the world again. This is why the true aspirants of Bhairava always pray, You know what the prayer goes in the Siddha Parampara? You would laugh that ऐसा कौन सा प्रार्थना होती है? ऐसा भी प्रार्थना होता है. प्रार्थना में वो कहते हैं कि ओ भैरव कम, ओ भैरव कम इनटू माय ड्रीम, कम इनटू माय ड्रीम ऑफ फायर, burn me and feed me with that nectar. ओ भैरव तुम मेरे स्वप्न प्रकट हो, स्वप्न में प्रकट हो, मुझे जला दो और तत्पश्चात अपने दर्शन से मुझे मेरे जीवा के ऊपर एक बूंद अमृत का छुआ दो. That's the prayer that in that parampara people keep on doing. आप जैसे क्षमा प्रार्थना करते हो ना लास्ट में, after you do any kind of puja prarthana, this is the prayer that they used to do after the jap of the mantra. They would say, I have completed today's jap, now I only ask one thing for you. Please appear in my dream. Please see me take me to that cremation ground where I am burning, and then come and give me the taste of that elixir. अब बताओ, कभी ऐसे भगवान ऐसे साधना के नाम पे सुना है कभी कुछ ऐसा? This is where this is typical. Can you see the absolute opposites coming together at one point? Absolute opposite. But that's what Bhairava is all about. When the entirety of duality come and merge at one point, that becomes Bhairava. Total extremes, and they will meet at a point, and that becomes Bhairava. And in your life, you have world on one side, your sadhana on the other side. Two extremes coming together. What will happen? Bhairava has to appear. कुछ लोग तो कहते हैं कि some people say that स्वप्न में क्या, मैं तो ऐसा ही जल रहा हूं, I'm burning just like this. Good. So now pray that at least, even if I'm burning in this life, at least appear in the dream. At least give me that glimpse of what I truly am. So they pray, oh Bhairava, come into my dreams. भैरव के जो dogs होते हैं ना, you might have seen, like wherever Bhairava goes, they will carry the dogs along with it. Right? But Bhairava's dogs have a very typical meaning to that. Because Ananda Bhairava, whenever, even in your dreams, if you see it, it will come with not one, it will come with 4 dogs. उसका टिपिकल नेचर है. मीन्स आप कहते हैं ना कि शिव, मतलब शिव ऐसे जटाजूट होना चाहिए, हाथ में त्रिशूल होना चाहिए, त्रिपुंड होने चाहिए, सो वो शिव दिखता है. आनंद भैरव का अलग भैरवों से जो, if you really want to distinguish him from that, he will always appear with 4 dogs. एक नहीं, 4. But what are these 4 dogs? If you see in your dream that something has appeared with 4 dogs, you know who it is. Because these dogs are not ordinary. And what I am going to tell, I don't know how people will take it. But this is how the representation goes. So don't take it in other ways, because it is said that they represent absolutely the 4 Vedas. Those who are trained and are fearless by the Bhairava itself. ऐसे 4 वेदों की बात करता है जिसको भैरव स्वयं शिक्षित किया हो, दीक्षित किया हो, अपने शरण में रखा हो और अपने साथ चलाता हो. Now, what we would like, this is like something that people cannot even digest. Oh my God, how can you say that? No, this is what it is all about. And here, these dogs, they guard the cremation ground. And you know what they eat? They eat the leftovers of the worldly illusions and chasing away the spirits of ignorance. Or rather, if I have to tell what these four dogs would represent, it would be awareness, courage, contentment, and freedom. They become your guardians. When you surrender to Bhairava, no negative force can approach you. That's what Bhairava is all about. Are you ready for his sadhana? Not going to be easy, because as per me, Anand Bhairav is not just a god. He is absolutely the embodiment of the highest truth. And after everything burns away, there is only bliss. There is only Ananda Bhairava. And remember, when you start calling on him, you are calling on the wildest, most fearless, yet the most compassionate dimension of the divine. ऐसे शक्ति का आवाहन करना है. And there will be preparations done. Physical purification, emotional purification, sacred space creation, and mental alignment as per the Guru Parampara. Because it is said, without discipline, Bhairava does not reveal himself. But with courage and surrender, Bhairava himself will guard your soul. And then there will be mantras, there will be yantras, there will be bandhas, and there will be asanas that you will be taught. Because what I will be, that mantra is so simple, yet it will have an impact on the crown chakra. It will have the impact on the third eye. It will have the impact on the solar plexus. It will have the example with the anahata. It will have the navel chakra. So it will absolutely work on so many forces of all within you. It will be working on the cosmic unition with you, means the yoga of the connection of the soul with the cosmic energies. It will clear the Shakti centers of yours. It will bring fearlessness and a state of bliss. And that mantra, I will be sharing it on the day of initiation. Then there will be a yantra that I've already drawn it, and I need Harivai's help to make it completely in a format that can be printed out for all of us. And that's how it is going to be. But after listening to all this, my question is, what are your questions? Now, time for your questions. Whatever doubt, whatever queries you have related to this sadhana, I would like to take that up, because I know at after 10, you go back to your sadhana. You go back to our regular practices that you are doing every single day right now. So, any questions? If no one has questions, that is great. With regard to this Das Mahavidya Sadhana, just to remind you, please don't do the Dhumavati chanting. Okay, I'll repost what mantra you can chant on behalf of that. So it would be tomorrow. So please don't chant Dhumavati chantings. Okay, we will do chant something else. So Revati ji, please go ahead and you can unmute.
I haven't started the sadhana because I was not here. So now what to do?
Because sadhana has not started. We were just telling about the sadhana.
So I thought everything really started long back and now I'm stuck in the middle.
You know, you remember that story? That's why I already told you 6 stories. Because all your questions will be answered in those stories itself. Now you see the magic. You said you are stuck. You know what I said? The souls that were stuck in the cremation ground, he came and started dancing, and a belly full of laughter came out, and that laughter became the mantra for them, and that liberated them. So when you say, I have not done any sadhana, we'll start laughing. And when you start laughing, you know what will happen.
Okay.
Okay? Done. Let me see. Kritarth ji.
हेलो।
हाँ, आप बोलिए. No, it went off. Okay. So I'll go to Amar ji and then come back to Kritarth ji. Amar ji, please unmute.
Good evening, Manas ji.
Good evening.
So how things? मेरा काफी कुछ घूमना रहा, अल्मोड़ा वगैरह में गया था, प्राणिकेत. I think you are बाबा जी caves.
जी.
So मैं सोचा था आपको 1-2 मिनट बोल दूं कैसा रहा क्या रहा.
Yeah, sure.
So I am sure you must have heard Haida-Khand Baba, right?
Yes, yes.
तो उनके आश्रम में भी गया था. मुझे वहां पे भी अच्छा फीलिंग्स लगा. एंड उनका दोनों आश्रम में गया था मैं, जहाँ पे उनका समाधि था, पीछे नवदुर्गा के मंदिर है
जी, जी.
नदी के पार. पूरा एकदम बहुत दूर था, मतलब इट इज 30-40 किलोमीटर फ्रॉम काठगोदाम रेलवे स्टेशन. तो मेरा ऐसा था कि मैं बीच में फंस गया था बिकॉज ऑफ हम कैंची धाम भी गए थे. आई नो यू मस्ट बी नोइंग, कैंची धाम के बाद वो काकरी घाट भी एक जगह है जहाँ पे
Yes.
उनका पहला लोग जाते नहीं वहां पे. दैट इज अ वेरी बेटर एंड ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस देन द कैंची धाम. पीपल
Right.
हार्डली नोज दैट. और वहां पे विवेकानंद का भी इल्यूमिनेशन हुआ था. ही ऑल्सो गॉट दैट अलाइनमेंट देयर. That was a very nice and very peaceful place. People hardly will find any people on that so much rush days where the entire 3-4 lakhs people are there. There are not even 30 people are there in that place where I went, Kakri Ghat. तो बट मेरा एक पूछना था. मेरा हर एक जगह जाता हूँ, हर एक जगह में कनेक्ट हो जाता हूँ, हर एक जगह अच्छा लगता है. मैं करूँ क्या? मतलब सब अभी कैलाश मानसरोवर जाने का भी मैंने कर दिया प्लान. तो मतलब क्या करूं? मतलब यहाँ भी मन लगता है, वहां भी मन लगता है. आदमी एक एक कितना. मैं तो फिर बाद में सोचा कि भाई ये जन्म तो सही नहीं, मेरे को नेक्स्ट जन्म भी आना पड़ेगा. तो इतना सब जगह तो फिर मोक्ष क्या हो गया फिर? तो आई एम लिटिल बिट कंफ्यूज. मतलब इतना सब जगह है एंड स्पीकिंग मेरा कोई कनेक्ट नहीं है हैदराखंड बाबा के साथ. बट मेरे को लगा मैं जाऊं एंड उनके पास बैठा थोड़ा 10-15 मिनट मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगा. एंड मेरे को लगा मैं जाऊं क्या, शुड आई टेक द एडवेंचर? बिकॉज मेरा ट्रेन था 3 बजे और 10 बजे मैं सोच रहा हूँ जाऊं कि नहीं. 40 किलोमीटर इन पहाड़ी एरिया. इवन दो पंडित एंड देवर सजेस्टिंग आप मिस कर लोगे ट्रेन. मेरे पास बाइक था, मैं चला जाऊंगा. एंड मेरे को मन किया, मैं चला भी गया. वहां पे खाना भी खाया, 40 मिनट स्पेंड किया, फिर आया, फिर ट्रेन के पहले भी पहुंच गया. विच पीपल से अरे बारिश हुआ था, रास्ता टूट गया होगा, तुम कैसा जाओगे? तो आई डोंट नो. आई मीन ऑल ब्लेसिंग्स ऑफ बटुक भैरव व्हाटएवर. वो एक पूछना था आपसे. दूसरा था, मैं एक साथ पूछ लेता हूँ आपको, कि बटुक भैरव का मंत्र जो है मैंने सिंपल स्टार्टिंग वाला ही कर रहा हूँ काफी दिन से, काफी मन से. सेकेंड वाला नहीं किया हूं मैं अभी तक, बम बटुक भैरवा जो मंत्र होता है, दूसरा वाला और थर्ड, क्योंकि फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड ऐसा होता बोल के मुझे पता भी नहीं था। लास्ट टाइम मैंने वो दीपिका एक से पूछा जो आपसे बात हो रहा था, मैंने बोला मैं तो अभी तक क्लास 1 में भी हूँ, मैं क्लास 2 क्लास 3 कब जाऊंगा? तो ये मेरा
See,
पूछना था।
okay.
तो first is why I'm getting connected to everywhere and all these things, even Reiki, Akashic records, वो सब भी मैं कोर्स करने लगा। You know, I have stopped going to office, so अभी जहां जाता हूँ जो लगता है मैं कुछ ना कुछ कर ही लेता हूँ। तो मैं थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो गया कि सब कुछ सीखना है, सब कुछ ले जाना है, सब कुछ देखना है, सब कुछ जानना है, कैसा होएगा फिर?
Okay. So might be you have a big belly to be filled with. And you no, it is a good thing. See, Amarji, it
Yes,
is not a bad thing. At least you are not roaming around the places where the worldly things are. You are roaming in places where all these things are happening to you. एक चीज होगा, Amarji, everyone, every sadhak, if you look
correct,
at them, there are very very few. वो बिरला होते हैं जिनको एक बार में मिल जाता है. Means they go and they just stay there.
correct,
You you keep on going from this place to that place and that place to this place. Look at this in such a way, like the case of Vivekananda itself.
right.
If you go back and trace back his story, he was an atheist. Like he did
हाँ,
not believe anything, and he was having like सब तरीके का तर्क उसको पता था.
correct, correct.
Up until when? So he might have gone to so many places, so many things. He might not have experienced, and then he finally gets one.
Oh, that Vivekanand Rock also, na, he went there in that, there also he went to so many places.
So that's where I say, if you feel like going to different places and you're connecting, that's good. Keep going. Because one fine day, you will sit there. And once you sit there, you will not have a question. You will feel like, okay, this is the one that I was seeking. It's like there are so many houses. Let's say you start walking, there are so many houses.
Right.
And even if you might have seen the row houses, which all look alike, right?
Correct, correct,
So when you're going through that, you feel like, ये मेरा घर है क्या? ये मेरा घर है क्या?
correct.
But suddenly, when you really go and stand in front of your house, you know that that's your house. That has some uniqueness in it. And that's how you will reach. So I never stop people from going places because that's the way they will explore it. Why should you bind somebody saying that, no, you should stay here? No, that's not the way.
Correct, correct.
Why
I
should
remember you
I
saying that
become
you
a
go somewhere.
block road for somebody's truth? If they're able to find that, but is it not a beautiful thing that you have become such a subtle space which is able to connect with all that?
Many, which I'm not aware of. Many people
Yes,
I don't even know. For
you
the
don't
first
even
time, I'm
know.
knowing that I get connected.
So it's a good thing. So don't stop, Amarji. जहां जा सकते हो, जो सीख सकते हो, सब करो. And don't worry, हम यही हैं.
That is the thing. I think वो जो एक बैकअप रहता है, बैक ऑफ द माइंड की, हाँ मानस जी है, वो देख
That's
लेंगे,
what, no,
संभाल लेंगे.
that's the problem. I am the backup.
Not back of your front up also, but at the same time वो भी होता है कि नहीं चलो वो भी देखना है, ये भी देखना है, ये तो देख लिया. I've seen, I've experienced.
Absolutely, absolutely. I take it absolutely amazing spiritual, mean that spirit, Amarji. And that's why I don't worry about it, because हमने एक ही चीज कहा है. I keep on saying that again and again. भाई हम मंदिर के भगवान नहीं है, हम श्मशान के देवता है. अब कहीं पे भी जाओ, आओगे यही.
Yes, yes, yes.
But till you finally are ready to die, world is a beautiful place to roam around.
Correct.
But you are not doing anything wrong in that, right? You are going to such places, and when you have the spirit within you that has that calling, when you have that capability that you can go around, why not? My question is, why not?
But the
yes,
point is, people say कि बस तुम घर पे भी रह के तो भगवान को पा सकते हो, तुमको क्या घूमना है यार, तुम कहाँ जा रहे हो इधर उधर? That's also another question कि भाई, and then why people are going?
question can be many, Amarji. Right? There can be, people can say, you can sit at your home and you can get the God. Absolutely. But why are you going there? I say, I go there to prove people that he is not only here, he is also there.
Yes. Correct. Correct.
And how can you say he is only here? You don't have to go there. I say, wherever I go. मैंने कहा था ना last time I was saying in the session itself. उसने किसी ने पूछा ना कि माला जपते हो क्या? कहता माला तो जप रहा हूं. कहाँ? दिखाई नहीं दे रहा माला. बोला देखो. In every aspect of nature, I see the God. In every changing thing, I see the God. And everything is changing and mala chal rahi hai. And that's how it is. So, go ahead. I believe like it is one way a blessing that you have got. ये grace नहीं है अमर जी. If it is
Yes.
not the grace of the divine, how can people even think to travel so many places that you are traveling?
It's possible nowadays. So it is easy. You can take a flight, train, and all these things. You can go still.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. Amar ji, did you go to Puri Jagannath Rath Yatra?
Not this time. I had been to many times. वो तो मेरा घर है. Puri तो is my place.
That's what I'm saying. You are from that place, but this time you could not go.
Yes. No.
Revati ji stays in near you,
No.
but she has gone there.
Correct.
Now
Correct.
just think of what is grace. The day I shared a song about the song that Indresh ji has sung. He has sung it so beautifully. When I was listening to that, I could not stop crying. And I was just crying. And he was singing only Ahe Nilo Soila. That song.
I
itself.
knew. Yeah. I heard that you said that. Yes.
I don't know, like it's going on and on and on. Because in that moment, I could relate that we belong, we come from that place. The entire world is standing in front of you and you have not called me. That was the feeling. Why did you not call me? Was my feeling in that moment. And he was dancing all around. Like, like he's just
right.
coming
Yes.
out. And when you are seeing and his eyes just look up once and you see like, oh, he's looking at you. That moment, like I said, you have all these people and never thought of me. And that's what I say, Amarji. That's grace. People, as you rightly said, no? एक ऐसा जगह जहाँ पे इतने लाखों लोग हैं और एक जगह जहाँ पे 30 लोग नहीं है.
Just another 12 kilometers away. That is 12 to 15 kilometers away from that place. ज़्यादा दूर भी नहीं है. वो कैंची धाम से 12-15 किलोमीटर दूर है.
So what would you call that? Who called you to that place? That's grace. So when grace is there, Amarji, I will just surrender. And I will simply say, okay, I don't know, you are taking me to places.
Correct, exactly.
जहाँ रोकना है वहीं रोक देना.
मानस जी एक एक्सपीरियंस में बताऊं मैं आपको. जब गया था मैं दिल्ली, इट वाज माय बैक टू बैक ट्रिप फॉर 8 days. तो उसमें काफी कुछ कवर करना था. कैंची धाम का जो 3 दिन का जो था वहां पे जाना था. बट वो इतना भीड़ थे, दे हैव चेंज रूट. जैसे पुरी में करते हैं, पूरा रूट चेंज कर दिया. अराउंड 20 किलोमीटर अवे से वो लोग बंद कर दिया. रास्ता सब अलग अलग कर दिया. सो वी हैड अ बाइक, मतलब मोटरसाइकिल्स लिए थे, मैं और एक दोस्त. हम लोग काकरी घाट पे रह गए क्योंकि जा नहीं पाए कैंची धाम, फ्रैंकली स्पीकिंग. तो काकरी घाट पे जब रह गए, नेक्स्ट डे वो बोलता मैं नहीं जाऊंगा बाबा जी के, क्योंकि मेरा पूरा प्लान था, मैंने बुक भी कर दिया. बोला नहीं मैं नहीं जाऊंगा, बिकॉज दैट डे फॉर 40 किलोमीटर्स नाउ वी हैव ट्रैवल्ड 100+ किलोमीटर्स इन द बाइक. पहाड़ में बाइक ट्रैवल करना भी इज नॉट आसान. और हमारा 2 सामान था, बैग था, तो ही वाज रियली टायर्ड आल्सो. आई वाज थिंकिंग. और रात 9-10 बजे मैं बोल रहा हूँ मुझे और एक बाइक दे. वो बोला भाई आप सर 70-80 किलोमीटर दूर है, मैं बाइक लाके नहीं दे सकता हूँ आपको, तो क्या आप. तो कैन यू, आई वाज लिटरली क्राइंग. आई वाज टेलिंग बाबा जी क्या आपको मुझे देना नहीं है, दर्शन नहीं देना है, केव में ले लेना है. कि मैं पूरा सब प्लान किया था. दैट वाज वन ऑफ द मेन प्लान कि मैं बाबा जी का केव जाऊंगा, कि वो मेरा टिक मार्क में था ये. एंड पहाड़ी एरिया में यू कैन नॉट प्रेडिक्ट द क्लाइमेट,
द वेदर,
एवरीथिंग. सब कुछ सही रहेगा, फटाक से हो जाएगा. और सवेरे उठा तो बारिश हो रहा था. कैन यू इमेजिन मेरा सिचुएशन. और दोस्त पूरा एकदम सो रहा है, उठने को तैयार नहीं, जाने को तैयार नहीं. मैं क्या मैं बैग पैक किया, मैं होटल से मैं खुद ही चेकआउट हो गया एट अराउंड 6:15-6:30. कैन यू बिलीव में बारिश हो रहा था, मैं छतरी लिए था. वो पहाड़ जगह किसी को मुझे कुछ पता नहीं. और दैट वाज 2 किलोमीटर 3 किलोमीटर दूर है मेन रोड, उस पे से दूर है. फिर 4-5 जगह होके आप जा सकते हो. कुकुचिना, मतलब दुनागिरी कुकुचिना. तो वहां पे आई वेंट. एक जन लौट रहा था मोटरसाइकिल बाइक में आया, तो उसको मैंने 20 रुपया दिया, वो मुझे रोड तक छोड़ा. वहां से फिर दूसरा और 20 रुपया दिया, फिर मतलब इट वॉज एक्सपेंसिव, बट मुझे जो जहां मिला, एंड वन पर्सन हु वाज टू ड्रॉप मी एट रानीखेत, वो बोला मैं द्वाराहाट में टीचर हूँ, चलो मैं आपको छोड़ देता हूँ। कैन यू इमेजिन? बोला मेरा आज ही लेट हो गया, मैं हर दिन जल्दी जाता हूँ, बट समाज में लेट हो गया। उसने साला कैंची धाम में पकड़ लिया मुझे, वो आधा घंटे से छोड़ नहीं रहा, मैं मिनिस्टर को बात कर रहा हूँ, ये कर रहा हूँ, कर रहा हूँ, बिकॉज दे वर वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट दिस टाइम। एंड आ रहा हूँ मैं बोला मुझे रानी, मतलब तुम कहाँ जाओगे? मतलब अरे बाबा जी केव्स का पास ही तो मैं जा रहा हूँ, मैं उधर ही टीचर हूँ। कैन यू इमेजिन? मतलब वो 2 घंटे में मुझे पहुंचा दिया, जो मैं सोच रहा था शाम को पहुंचूंगा।
I don't want to imagine, I believe it.
हाँ, मतलब एंड ही लिटरली टुक 200 बैग्स, फाइन, मतलब मैं पैसे की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज कि ये ऐसा मैं कहीं पे 5-10 मिनट से ज्यादा वेट नहीं किया, जबकि लोग बोले तो 2-2 घंटे के बाद बस आता है, 3 घंटे के बाद आपको वेट करना पड़ेगा, विच इज वेरी फैक्ट। बट मैंने क्या हाथ दिखाया पिकअप, लोग मुझे ले भी गए, किसी ने बिठा दिया पीछे, किसी ने बोला, मैंने किसी को रिक्वेस्ट किया भाई मुझे आगे तक छोड़ दो, छोड़ दिया लेके। वो वो गाड़ी वाला तो 100 किलोमीटर पूरा ले लिया मुझे सीधा एक स्ट्रेट, और 100 किलोमीटर इन पहाड़ी एरिया इन वन गो, इट्स अ ड्रीम एक्चुअली। एंड ही इज अ टीचर, बोला मैं रहता हूँ काठगोदाम उस तरफ, मैं आया था तो मेरे को जाना, आज मेरा लेट हो गया, और मैं रास्ता में रखूंगा नहीं, ब्रेकफास्ट के लिए भी मैं आपके लिए रखूंगा। मेरे यार मुझे नहीं चाहिए ब्रेकफास्ट में, चलो तो अच्छी बात है, यू ड्रॉप। एंड ही जस्ट ड्रॉप मी द प्लेस वेयर द पिकअप फॉर द केव्स इज देयर, मतलब वो जो शटल सर्विस होता है वहां तक ले लिया। एंड सब दर्शन हो गया, अच्छा हो गया। आने के बाद फिर बारिश हुआ, देन आई वाज सो हैप्पी, बोले चलो अभी जितना भी भिगाना भिगा दो मुझे, नो इश्यू, मेरा दर्शन तो हो गया। एंड आई स्पेंट अराउंड 1 आवर के ऊपर, 40-50 मिनट्स वहां, मेरे को आने को मन ही नहीं करा था केव से। आई सैट फॉर कपल ऑफ टाइम्स, उठ के आया फिर गया, उठ के आया फिर गया, मतलब आई वाज नॉट रेडी, बिकॉज पहाड़ी एरिया यू कांट स्पेंड मोर टाइम, वो बंद भी हो जाएगा फिर केव, तो आने के लिए भी डिफिकल्ट है, तो मैं आ गया। तो मतलब आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज अट्रैक्शन, वहां पे ऐसे नहीं भीड़ भाड़ भी नहीं था, यही 10-15 पीपल ही रहते हैं। एंड पीपल आर सेइंग कि जिसका नहीं जाना होता है तो नहीं जाना होता है, देयर आर पीपल हु केम टू द लॉज, आई मीन होटल्स, दे कुड नॉट गो, दे हैड सम अदर अर्जेंसी, दे हैव टू गो बैक, मतलब दोस पीपल आर सेइंग, व्हिच इज अ वेरी फैक्ट। मेरे को लगा कि उनको जो चाहना होता है ना करा देते हैं, जिसको नहीं होना होता है तो आके भी नहीं देख पाता है वो। एंड आई मीन सर सच थिंग्स आर देयर, मेरे को पता नहीं इज इट कोइंसिडेंस, मैं कितना कोइंसिडेंस हो सकता है, इट कैन नॉट बी सो मेनी कोइंसिडेंस ना।
A series of coincidences might be that
एंड
people
बैक टू
call.
बैक विद लिमिटेड टाइम, मतलब मेरा कहना है मेरा पूरा बैक टू बैक है, और मेरे को कैंसिल कुछ भी करना नहीं पड़ा, ना ट्रेन का, ना फ्लाइट का, ना आगे का पीछे का, ना होटल का। एक ही खाली होटल वो हैडा का खान में था पहला दिन का, वो खाली कैंसिल हो गया, वो भी नेक्स्ट डे एडजस्ट हो गया, जाके मैं रह गया, फिर मिल के आ गया। तो मेरा सब कुछ हो गया, एंड इवन विदाउट सिंगल हैंडेडली, जो कि लोकल बंदा था जिसको मैंने पकड़ा था, वही रुक गया, बोला नहीं नहीं मैं कंची धाम के बाद और नहीं जा पाऊंगा, काकरी घाट से मेरे को टायर्ड हो रहा, दिस एंड दैट, तो अपना गाड़ी देख ले। आई मीन ही वाज अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन, बट आई कुड नॉट फोर्स हिम। मैं बोला भाई अभी मैं गाड़ी का वेट करूं तो गया मेरा काम से भी, खुद ही मेरा पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट जो मिलेगा मैं चला जाता हूँ, एक बार दर्शन हो गया उसके बाद मेरे पास टाइम है, कैसे भी मैं आऊंगा। एंड इट वाज सो नाइसली हैपेंड, एवरीथिंग बैक टू बैक। आई रियली, मेरे को लगता है कि बटुक भैरवा का भी आशीर्वाद रहेगा, बाबा जी का आशीर्वाद रहेगा, भगवान का तो आशीर्वाद डेफिनेटली होगा, आपका भी कुछ आशीर्वाद रहेगा, नहीं तो ऐसा होना इज, मेरा जितना भी लॉजिक है सब डिफाई करता है। बोला ठीक है, एक बार लॉजिक हो गया, दोबारा लॉजिक हो गया, तिबारा तीसरे बार, इतना बार बार कैसा हो सकता है लॉजिक? तो डाउटिंग माई सेल्फ कि भाई होता क्या है, मतलब डेफिनेटली देयर इज अ ग्रेस समवेयर, इट इज हैपनिंग।
So let that grace unfold. I can say that much. और बटुक भैरव का जो है,
हाँ, यस यस यस।
ये आप एक काम कर सकते हो, लाइक वी हैव दैट इनिशिएशन फॉर बटुक भैरव सेकंड प्रोसेस आल्सो, एक बार सुन लो उसको, कैसे भी यूट्यूब पे है। So any of you other people in the room, if you have the link of that, you can share it with Amarji so that he can just listen to that and start doing that as well. So Amarji
So
बिल्कुल
in,
शुरू कर सकते हो अगर इतना दिन हो गया उसमें, so you can start off with it.
so that also like 1-2 mala a day kind of a thing, same thing, similar
पूरा
kind of a thing.
डिटेल्स उसके अंदर आ जाएगा आपको, because when you say that I am doing the first mantra and I am in the class 1, no, it is not like that. Every mantra is potent enough. The only thing that why we want to move it to the next level was to intensify that impact that you are experiencing.
Okay, okay.
That's it, nothing else. But that one single mantra that you are doing is good enough also.
Acha, that's also.
Okay. But still, You can move on to class 2 now.
Yes, yes, yes. And these 41 days are starting from when? And it's online only, na? What you are talking about, this Ananda Bhairav?
That is something that is not in anybody's hand. I even don't know when I'm going to start that.
Acha,
Most
that's you are
probably it
just
is
giving a
going to start on Guru Purnima itself, and on that day already the people, those who will be selected, will be there.
Mhm. Okay, okay, okay.
So all those who are traveling, those who will be called, they will be there, and that process will be done starting most probably in the afternoon till evening. Then thereafter evening, the regular Guru
Yes,
Purnima
yes, yes.
celebration will start off.
So are you saying this 41 days starting from 10th July, right?
Yes.
But then they will return to their place and they will do at home only, na?
Yes, yes.
Acha.
I just hoped they all could have stayed with me for 41 days.
That's what. And that name final when you will do this, or you have done already?
No, because now this is another way of doing it, Amarji. This time I am not going to select the people right away. I am going to put a open request, whoever ticks it. Because you should first think that you are capable of doing that sadhana.
Correct.
That calling should come from within you, not from me. And once those
Okay.
people have elected themselves, then the selection process will begin.
Okay, okay. So that is yet to come now, where we will
Yet to come.
put ourselves as a candidature. Now you will finally select it.
Yes.
Okay, done. Understood.
Okay.
Because that will happen before the regular Guru Purnima event.
It
What
will
is
be done
generally
in the
happen.
next 2-3 days itself. Most
Okay,
probably by this weekend, everything would be finalized.
okay. That is in 10th of July is first now. So another 9 days is total. The people should be.
Yes.
I'm sure there would be outstation candidates also will be coming for making their enrollment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fine, fine.
Okay.
So I can start that second one. What you're saying that.
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Hmm?
Fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amarji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Manoj.
Kritarji.
हेलो, am I
हाँ,
audible now?
yeah, this is audible.
Yes. गुरुजी आपने अभी 10 महाविद्या के बारे में बोला. For that you mentioned धूमावती नहीं करना है. But earlier, last Gupta Navratri, when I skipped Dhumavati and moved to the next one, that night I got a dream and it was indirectly told that you have done this process, so I am also supposed to do it for
Okay.
Dhumavati.
Hmm.
और
See,
मैंने उस वक्त भी बोला था कि मैं बिल्कुल सिंपल एज आई कैन डू दैट. मतलब मैं 11 बार ही मंत्र पढ़ लेता हूँ.
okay. So, Kritarji, the thing is, Dhumavati sadhana is quite a little restricted one. Even in the Dasma Vidyas, it is quite restricted one. So, instead of that, I will be posting the mantra again. So, you can chant on that.
Even a smaller one is also so that होने. Okay.
Which one? I just
Smaller one.
Okay.
और दूसरा अभी आप जो बता रहे थे, क्या ये समाचार पद्धति से होगा ये आनंद भैरव की पूजा?
You mean the 41 day sadhana की बात कर रहे हो आप?
Yes, yes.
See, the first and foremost thing about this sadhana is, it is not for everyone. It is for a selected few. But what I am thinking in a louder way is, these particular chosen people will be trained to become a master of that, so that they can start chanting this mantra along with the group in their own zones. For example, we have all, if I just distribute India into 4 parts. So we have people, those who speak Telugu and Tamil. We have people, those who speak Marathi and Gujarati. We have people, those who speak Hindi and all the northern languages. And we have all the people from the eastern side who speak English, Hindi, Odia, and Bengali as well. So all 4 parts of India is covered actually. So what we want to do is, Kritarji, once these team member, like once this, I would call them sadhaks actually. So once these sadhaks are trained, what they will start doing is every Thursday they will have their own small, to start with, might be a small little community. Along with them, they will just chant the mantra. Okay, so that becomes a self-sustained group, and at the same time, those who have been with me for a long time now and at the same time doing all the kinds of sadhana, they should also go to a space where they also start teaching. Because once you start teaching, you learn more while teaching. You cannot teach without learning. So might be that becomes another way of learning for them. And yes, the sadhana has a lot of things into that. But at the same time, we can do the same mantra for all the other people, those who just want to do the mantra itself, will not be sharing you with the asana siddhis or the bandhas or the mudras. So we'll not be telling all that, but a simple way, the same mantra, you can still chant it. And what you can do is, you can also become the part of the same groups and you can still start chanting with that. Because who knows, for the next phase, you people get the chance to become that. And the same thing is going to happen for our world zone as well. Considering we have more people in US and even quite a few people in UK, so we can start that as well. So that is where we are looking forward to. And for the people in US, what I will do is, we will try to initiate them online, and their initiation process will be specifically a closed group initiation. It would not be for everyone. Only those who are selected for that process, they will be invited to that group, and that initiation process will be completed. So that's how it is going to be, Kritaji, because many things are going to be unfolded during this Guru Purnima this time. So be ready. But that does not mean that you should stop yourself from electing yourself, right? Nomination file hone chahiye. Because nomination itself will speak a lot about it. But yes, as I said, if you are not nominated, don't feel bad, or don't take it in any other way. It's as simple as that. Okay?
Yeah, and आपने बोला था कि उसमें खतरनाक एक्सपीरियंस भी होंगे, इवन स्कैरी, दैट समवन विल बीट यू. अब उसके लिए मुझे क्वेश्चन है कि एज पर साइंस इन हिप्नोटिज्म, अगर कुर्सी खाली है तो हिप्नोटाइज करके किसी को हम ये भी बता सकते कि वहां कोई बैठा है, एंड वाइस वर्सा.
जी जी.
अब जिन लोगों को स्पिरिट्स दिखते हैं, अब ऐसा सुना है कि वो बॉडी को पजेस कर लेते हैं so that they can make us do whatever they want.
Okay.
That is possible. But अगर किसी को दिखता है, in that case it can also be treated as their schizophrenic. तो सच में क्या होता है, ये हमारे माइंड का प्रोजेक्शन होता है कि हमें कोई दिखा, even he got hit by someone, or the energy is there.
Okay. So, see, energy field is something we all know, that there are certain energy fields that we can see. There are certain energy fields that is not visible to the eyes. Might be some people get into that realm. They develop that kind of frequency where they are able to see all those things. coming to this hypnotics, ये जो काला जादू ये करते हैं, like, okay, so all these things, these are like very very निम्न स्तर के लोग होते हैं. Why would you try to do something bad to someone? So that you want to extract something from them, as simple as that, right? But these processes that we are doing here, when I say that you are going to have certain kind of experiences, the reason behind telling you that is because Bhairava is a fierce force. And anything, let's say, even if you are sitting here, you take your hand closer to the fan. Won't you feel a difference in energy? Why do you feel that? Because it is moving, it has certain power. And when you become closer to it, you feel that vibrational frequency. So that energy of Bhairava itself is a very, very powerful entity. And when you go into that space, what happens is, first and foremost thing, what I said, it will work on your deepest fears. Your deepest fears can be dealt when they are brought to surface and then removed. समझ में आया? That becomes a little typical experience. And there might be people, Kritaji, those who will not have any such kind of terrifying views. Why? Because that kind of fear is not there. So it is going to be a mixture of things. But yes, I can say the ratio can be 95 and 5. 95% of the people will experience that. Because the processes, when I define the processes itself are so, जब आप सुनोगे ही आप बोलोगे कैसे करूंगा मैं. So that's how it is. And I cannot unfold more here now.
And Guruji, generally, fear के लिए क्या किया जा सकता है? Any remedy for the general? I am talking about general, not this specific one.
General किसके लिए?
Fear
के लिए.
fear.
Okay.
बहुत डर लगे, सपोज अब आपको पता है कुछ देवियां होती है जो स्पेसिफिकली बहुत फेरोशियस है, अब उनकी पूजा करते हैं, इन दैट केस लिटिल बिट वी गेट फियर, पर अगर ना किया हो तो फिर नहीं लगता है डर. सो इन दैट केस, इन ऑर्डर टू रिमूव दैट फियर एंड मूव ahead in the sadhanas, what we can do?
First, see, you have a fear of anything because you don't know about it.
Yes.
That is what you call as the unknown fear, right? There are certain things called as known fear and there are certain things that are called as unknown fear. Known fear क्या है? मैं अग्नि में हाथ डालूंगा हाथ जलेगा. That is a known fear. I will not put my hand. Unknown fear, I don't know what kind of impact it will have on me. That's the unknown fear. And when we are talking about that kind of fear, the best way to deal with that, even without going into mantra, tantra or yantra, the best way to dealing with that is befriending with that deity itself. Starting to have a kind of a relationship where you start to know more about it without fear. The biggest example for this entire group would be if I say Kali ya Tara. Now people are not seeing her like somebody who is fearsome and very, very terrifying. All start smiling with the name itself. The reason? The kind of relationship that they have built over these years. So उसी तरीके से कृतार्थ जी, डर क्यों लगता है कि मुझे पता नहीं वो क्या करेगा मेरे साथ, बट इफ आई एम द फ्रेंड, है ना, दैट्स वेयर यू शुड स्टार्ट. एक भक्ति, दूसरी शरणागति, तीसरी द कनेक्शन दैट यू बिल्ड विद दैट डेटी. एंड यस, देयर आर मंत्रस, लेकिन ऐसे मंत्र में जाना क्यों है? बिकॉज वी यूज मंत्रस एंड घेरा जो लगाते हैं ना, we do that because we think like they can really harm us. But when I'm talking about a deity, a goddess, how can a goddess harm me? Right? Certain goddesses are there, as you said, उनके लिए घेरा लगाना पड़ता है. So for fear, I can simply say you can give me a message separately.
Okay, I'll message that clearly, and what some addition I have made, I'll also write that in message.
Sure. ठीक है, ओके
थैंक यू
पिताजी,
गुरुजी।
धन्यवाद। सुधा जी।
प्रणाम गुरुदेव।
प्रणाम प्रणाम सुधा जी।
ये जो माँ बगलामुखी का मंत्र है गुरुदेव, इसमें कोई छोटा मंत्र हो सकता है?
उसमें
छोटा मंत्र हो सकता है उनका कोई?
बिल्कुल हो सकता है, सिंपली कर दीजिए उसको, ओम बगलामुखी देवी भे नमः,
इतना ही पूछना।
दैट कैन बी, ठीक है, वैसा कर सकते हैं आप।
क्योंकि इसमें जो मंत्र दिया है इसमें ना
ओके
गलती होने के चांसेस लगते हैं।
ओके नहीं ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम। अगर वैसा कुछ भी है, देखिए कभी भी कोई देवी देवता का मंत्र अगर आपको सही से नहीं आता है, देर इज ए वेरी सिंपल वे टू डू दैट। हम जैसे सारे मंत्रों को करते हैं, यू कैन स्टिल टेक द नेम ऑफ दैट डेटी। ओके, ओम लगा दीजिए तो क्या होगा, तीव्रता कम हो गई, वो शांत कर दिया। सो ओम आ गया, लाइक प्रणव लग गया, ओम जो भी देवी है उसके साथ देवीभ्ये नमः। सो जो कुछ भी है मैं तेरा नाम ले रहा हूँ, तेरे शरणागति होकर नाम ले रहा हूँ, सो वॉट एवर इट इज आई एम जस्ट ऑफरिंग इट बैक टू यू। बिल्कुल किया जा सकता है वैसा। आई नो,
Thank
like
you.
some people were saying like if you could have recorded and sent the mantras, I said okay, I should have that time थोड़ा मिलना, बिकॉज मंत्र भी बड़ा हो जाता है उनका, और उसमें कुछ चीजें ऐसे लगती हैं जिसको सोच के ही लोग सोचते हैं ये पढ़ना चाहिए नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए,
आप सही कह
बिकॉज
रहे हैं।
उसमें स्तंभन है, उसमें किलक
कीलक है,
है
हाँ सभी है इसमें।
सो
सभी
दैट्स
चीजें
फाइन,
दी हुई।
यू कैन
इसी
डू
एक
इट वेरी
मंत्र में,
सिंपल जी।
इसी एक मंत्र में ये सब चीजें दी हुई हैं, बाकी सब
क्योंकि
सही।
क्योंकि वो देवी वैसी है, उसमें उनका पूरा बखान किया गया है, बकायदा बखान किया गया है कि दिस इज व्हाट यू डू, कि हे देवी मैं तुम्हारा आह्वान इसलिए कर रहा हूं कि तू ये सारे कार्य मेरा कर दे। क्यों? क्योंकि वो शत्रुनाशक मंत्र है, वही है ना, उसका बंधन कर देना, उसको पूरा कंप्लीटली बांध देना उसे, स्तंभ स्तंभ किले किले सब चलता है उसमें। ओके, और सुधा जी?
बस गुरुदेव इतने पूछना
चलो,
था। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सुधा जी। Everybody asked all other questions except the question that I asked to ask. So no one has any questions related to this process. Good. So anyways, it is now time. I will stop here because you all have your sadhana to be done. And for the Q&A session, I will see if it is possible tomorrow or day after, and the updates will be there. Because I want to keep Hari Bhai free tomorrow on his birthday. So, let's see. Most probably we'll have it on Thursday or something like that. Okay. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for listening to the talks about the Bhairava. And as I said, may he start laughing within you. May he start creating a world within you. And may that world be the world of bliss. Namo Bhairav. Om Namah Shivaya. हर हर महादेव। और बोलो, बांके बिहारी लाल की जय, राधा रानी की जय। सो मीट यू सून, टिल देन ये साधना कंटिन्यू करो। लेकिन जैसे मैंने कहा कि देवी धूमावती की मंत्र को नहीं जपना है, मैं ग्रुप में पोस्ट कर दूंगा कौन सा मंत्र आप कर सकते हो। उसके अलावा आप बाल त्रिपुर सुंदरी का मंत्र कर सकते हो, आप भुवनेश्वरी का मंत्र कर सकते हो। ओके, विच एवर यू फील लाइक। कुछ लोगों को बाल त्रिपुर सुंदरी का मंत्र बड़ा पसंद आता है, सो विच एवर यू लाइक, आइदर ऑफ दीज टू यू कैन डू ऑन दैट डे। ठीक है,